Hi there, my name is Patrick. I'm going to help you calculate the area of a wall and decide how many blocks it would take to fill in that area. These are the concrete blocks we're talking about, but when we're calculating how many blocks there's going to take to make this wall, we only need to count the fronts of the blocks. We don't need to know how thick they are. If we're trying to figure out how many blocks, we need to know what is the area. We need to know how much area is on this front part right here. So how much area is this? And to find area, you do length times height. I'm going to multiply together 8 times 16. So what does that equal? 6 times 8 is 48, and then the 4, and 8 times 1 is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's 128. So if it's 8 inches times 16 inches, that would equal 128 inches squared. Inches times inches is inches squared. So what that's really telling us is if you broke the 16 down into 16 inches, however many that is, and you broke the height into inches into 8, and then you extended all these across and extended all these across, and you filled this whole area up with, each one of these is 1 square inch. So how many little squares that are 1 square inch would it take to fill in this whole face? It would take 128 of them. So now that's a lot of little square inches, and we're gonna have some really high numbers if we're trying to find out. That's just for one block. If the wall is 30 feet long and 20 feet high, how many blocks? Change this area into square feet instead of square inches. There is a way to do that by dividing how many square inches go into 1 square foot. That would be 144. Let's just talk about that briefly. So before I said there was 128 inches squared, or you can also go square inches like that, SI. If there's 128 little squares in there, and if you had a 1 foot by 1 foot square, 1 foot by 1 foot, this would have 12 inches, and this would have 12 inches. And if you did all the inches out like that, and you counted them all, you counted all the squares in there, 12 times 12 would be 144 inches squared. So does this block have more than a square foot or less than a square foot? Well, it has 128 square inches, and a square foot has 144 square inches. So this has less than a square foot. If somebody's already figured out that you have like 400 square feet in your wall, then you're going to need more than 400 blocks, because you have 400 of these, and one of these is less than one of these, so you're going to need more of these. You're going to need maybe 500 blocks. It's just an estimate. So 16 inches is 12 inches plus 13, 14, 15, 16 plus 4 inches. So if I made a line up here where the 12 inches was, that would be 1 foot. That's 1 foot from there to there. And 4 inches, an inch is a 1/12 of a foot, so it's 4/12. So the width, instead of 16 inches, is 1 4/12 feet. And the height is 8 inches. If it came all the way up to here, it'd be 12 inches. So it's less than 1 foot. In fact, what is the height? It's 8/12 of a foot. 8 inches is 8/12 of a foot because inches are twelfths of a foot. So the width is 1 and what do we say, 4/12 of a foot. So now in feet, you've got more than 1 foot times less than 1 foot. So is that going to end up to be more than a square foot or less than a square foot? We'll find out. So we're going to multiply these two things together. How do you multiply two fractions together? Well, let's see, the 1 has to be changed into twelfths. So that would be 12/12 plus 4/12. And that's going to be 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 twelfths. And then that's going to be multiplied by 8/12. If you know how to do this kind of thing, so that's going to be 2 times 4 is 8, and 3 times 4 is 12. So that's going to do that. And then 4 times 4 is 16, and 3 times 4 is 12. So now you got 4 times 2 is 8, and 3 times 3 is 9. So the area right here is the very elegant 8/9 of a square foot. SF for square feet, or you could also say feet squared. So there's two ways to say your area. So the area of this face in feet is 8/9 of a square foot. 8/9 is less than 9/9, so it's less than a square foot. That's what we found out before. So each of these blocks is going to be 8/9 of a square foot. Now, if the whole room this isn't to scale, so we're going to say NTS, that means not to scale. Let's say it's 20 feet. And let's say this is 30 feet. How many square feet is going to be in this wall when it's finished? That's easy. It's 20 times 30. So 20 times 30 is basically 2 times 3 is 6 with those two zeros. So it's going to be 600 feet. Okay, this is 20 feet times 30 feet. So feet times feet is feet squared. 600 square feet is what you need for the whole wall. Each one of these is 8/9 of a square foot. So if we're going to, so the next step, I'm going to pause the video now and answer this question. Now that you know the area of one block, you know the area of the whole wall, what do you do to calculate how many blocks you would need? So this is a story problem now. And okay, you found the answer. The answer is division. So dividing is the way to find out how many of these go into this. How many apples to a pound, things like that. So how many blocks to a wall? You divide the whole wall by one piece, and that will tell you how many pieces it takes. That's what division is for. So we're going to go 600 divided by 8/9. Well, this isn't the way to do that, right? So how do you divide fractions? 600 over 1 divided by 8 over 9. And does anybody remember how to divide fractions? Let's see, you've flipped something, right? Which one do you flip? So you flip this one, so it's going to be 9/8. So flipping kind of reverses, and so then we have to also do a double reverse to make it balance again. So we change dividing into multiplying. So instead of dividing by 8/9, we're multiplying by 9/8. That's how division by fractions works. 600 times 9, 6 times 9 is 54. And then those two zeros, 100. 1 times 8 is 8. So if you turn the fraction over on its side, now this line here goes like this. The 5400 goes over on here, so that's 5400. The 8 goes over to here, which is 8. See, there's our fraction on its side, 5400 over 8. Now we can do the division. 8 goes into 54. So let's see, 7 times 8 is 56, so that's too big. So it'd be 6 times 8 is 48, or 950, so it's going to be 600. 7 times 8 is 56. Then we have 40 and 5. 5 times 8 is 40. So it's perfect, right on. So it takes 675 blocks. So what we did is there's 600 square feet in the whole wall. There's 8/9 in one. We did 600 divided by 8/9, and the answer was 675. So does that make sense with our estimate? So if this wall was filled up with 1 foot squares, 1 by 1, there would have been 600 of them because it's 600 square feet. We know a block is a little bit less than a square feet, so we know we're going to need more than 600 of them. In fact, that is what we found out, just a little bit more, 675.